Hey guys, welcome back to another Contempt Upon Investigation video. And I just share my experience and what kind of happened to me and what I saw in the religious cults of Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous. And I'm gonna just share a quote out of the big book where I got my name. It's on the bottom of page 568. There is a principle which is a bar against all information, which is proof against all arguments, and which cannot fail to keep a man in everlasting ignorance. That principle is contempt prior to investigation. Herbert Spencer. Which I don't even think Herbert Spencer, I don't even think that's his quote. I think it's somebody else's, which is another mistake in the big book. So I just did what they told me to do and investigate. And I have a lot of problems with what they teach in AA. And I've had a lot of abuse and just a lot of kind of gross behaviors happen to me. When I was in Narcotics Anonymous years ago, this is probably 2004, I had this sponsor who had like 20 years sober at the time, and everybody looked up to him. And I got him because he was kind of like the elder statesman, and he knew a lot about the program. I figured that was my best bet. Go to the guy who's been there the longest, and So he just turned out to be a creep, pretty disgusting guy. He was sleeping with one of his other sponsees' girlfriends. He, one day he asked me if I was willing to go to any lengths to stay clean. And I was like, yeah, of course. And he asked me to perform a sex act on him. And I was just like, I kind of laughed it off. And he just like, straight faced. I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah. Turns out he asked another guy to do that as well. And I remember I relapsed. I used for a day. Came back with my tail between my legs. And I had my son with me who was like 6 months old. And he had me hold my son up like this and say to him in his face, using drugs is more important than you. And I did it. I can't believe I did it, but I was just so young and impressionable and lost that I did it. And looking back at all these things that were just happening around me, there's this other old timer who had 15 years clean. When I was at work, and this guy didn't have a job, he was like a trust fund guy. When I was at work, he would invite my girlfriend at the time over to his swimming pool to go swimming with this other lecherous, disgusting addict guy. And I got upset about it and kind of confronted him about it. And of course, it got turned around on me that I was overreacting and this and that. Come on. Are you serious? Like this, it's just so disgusting and so lecherous. You hear about in meetings and how we're a family. We're a family. Unity. But families are not incestuous. They don't sleep with each other. Brothers and sisters don't date each other. It's kind of gross, I've always thought of it that way, and it just never rubbed me right, Why do I keep going back to my abuser is one thing. It's like maybe I just don't know where else to go when I get all bogged down with my substance abuse. I don't know. It's really strange and odd, That willing to go to any lengths thing is a trap for sure. I had a sponsor write down, I'm willing to go to any lengths for victory over alcohol in front of my big book and sign it. And whenever I would ask a question or just, be like, well, be a little apprehensive, he would have me go back to that. You signed it. You made the deal. It's a contract kind of thing. And that same sponsor, excuse me, allergies. That same sponsor told me he wouldn't work with me because he found out that I was drinking kombucha. The probiotic drink at health food stores. I was drinking like a couple gulps of it in the morning kind of thing. And I don't know, somehow he got wind of it. And there's trace amounts of alcohol in that, and it could trigger an allergic reaction. And I was like, you know what? And I was also taking herbal tinctures. They're alcohol based. And he just wasn't going to work with me. And I left AA over it at that time. That was the first time I left AA. I was like, I'm not going to have another grown man tell me what I can eat and drink. I'm not. I've always known that I drink with intent. I'm trying to, avoid the pain of life, or there's something deeper going on rather than some allergic reaction. I don't have an allergy to alcohol. My argument was like, there's trace amounts of alcohol in ripe fruit and a banana. I don't eat a banana or an apple and run off to the stupid races and end up at the bar or the liquor store. I don't take a sip of kombucha with intent to get drunk. It's up here. I'm taking it for health benefits. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And I drink with intent, like I told him, and he just couldn't accept that. I mean, in the long run, it's a blessing that I ended up having those kind of confrontations with these guys. And I'm always at odds with AA and their belief systems. And it's just, it's really my conscience telling me, get out. Get the hell out of here. I remember that same guy that was inviting my girlfriend over to go swimming in his pool. He ended up getting like all the meetings kind of kicked out of these churches because he'd go up to the podium and curse God in a church. Which, I mean, I'm not religious, but isn't the whole program based on God? I just don't understand how you would be so disrespectful. You go to a church where people believe a certain thing and just, it's so selfish, there's no respect at all in these places. They're just so consumed with themselves that they really don't care. I just they're dead wrong. They totally are. There's an AA quote that I've always liked, and it's alcoholics at their best are the elite of the mentally ill. I've always like that. I'm like, that's so true. Oh my God. And they have this arrogance about them that their way is the only way, and if you don't follow their way, you're doomed to a life of jails, institutions, and death. More threats, you know. There's another quote. I don't know who says it, but when setting out on a journey, don't seek advice from those that have never left home. And I just love that. It's very true. Some of these people don't leave ever. They drink the Kool-Aid or whatever, and it's just there's more to life than that, you know. I'm just so blessed to have this is a part of my spiritual awakening. Is awakening to this. It's broader. It includes other things other than AA meetings, you know. Another thing that I don't like making a big deal about myself, which they tend to like to do with their like sober anniversaries and birthdays, and milestones and stuff like that. It's like big deal. A lot of people don't drink. A lot of, you know, why do I have to have a birthday cake and get this medallion for this? It's to show the new guy that it works. I don't think so. I think it's just to make a big deal about yourself, to get more attention. It's just never. I don't like a birthday for myself. I don't like throwing a party for myself. I got a year sober once, and my sponsor at the time was like, "We're gonna have a big party. We're gonna, you know." And they came over to me and my wife's at the time, my ex-wife now, our house, and we went down in a finished basement, and like 20 people came over. And my wife was extremely uncomfortable with it, having all these strangers come in that she didn't know into the house. And we went down, and they made all these gifts and had a cake. And I was like, oh my God, this is like, I don't like this. This is embarrassing. I don't like making a big deal about this. So what? I haven't drank in a year. It's like, kind of like get a life, you know? Maybe I sound ungrateful or whatever, but I don't. My wife kept texting me, when are these people leaving? Can you get these people out of my house? You know, they like, I remember trying to convince her to go to Al-Anon, which I don't know much about Al-Anon, but it seems almost as sick, if not sicker than AA in some aspects. And she hated it. She was like, oh, those pathetic people. Just they cannot stand up for themselves, and they just accept their spouse's behavior, and they don't they don't stand up for themselves. It's pretty sad. You know, when people relapse and they come back to AA, I can't think of anything more kind of embarrassing and just it's so abusive to have them walk through everybody and go up and get another desire chip, and everybody's, you know, clapping for them and making this big spectacle. And it's just it's a shame ritual, it seems like. And they have to sit through someone's 10-year anniversary and eat their shitty birthday cake. and everybody just goes around and roasts them and talks about how cool they are, and they just sit there and lavish in it, and oh yeah, I'm so cool because I've got 10 years sober. But it seems like they're just sicker than they were before. It's just ridiculing the new person even more. I think it's so self-congratulatory. It's like, grow up. Just go out there and face the world. Don't expect this like special treatment. It's it's so cringe, I've just being critical of this is it's not bashing. I don't think I'm bashing AA. Maybe I am. I don't know. I think it's important to be critical and to think for yourself. And that old saying, my best thinking got me to AA. Well, that could be true. What's wrong with that? I needed help. I sought help. I knew the whole time I was using and drinking that it wasn't right, morally and ethically, and just, I wasn't enjoying it anymore. I was just kind of abusing it. I sought help. My thinking told me, get help. Go seek help. These people seem to know what they're doing. Go ask them for help. How is that bad thinking? I would say that's good thinking. So that never rested well with me. I don't know. I didn't have like a total topic for this video. I just wanted to talk about a few things, and mainly the abuse I endured from those sponsors, and and how the sober anniversaries never really rested well with me. I just think they're just cheesy and self-congratulatory and making a big deal out of something I should be doing anyway. I got up for work this morning and I got ready for work. Where's my cake? It's like, just stop making a big deal about yourself. It's very cringe, and grow up. I don't know. It's these videos I'm making will hopefully help somebody, and people can relate and help us feel like we're forming a community of like-minded people, because I feel, like it could be growing into something. And I hope everybody out there is having a good day and enjoy this video, and hope you got something out of it. And I will see you soon.